Hello, I hope everyone had a great weekend and now we start into the new trading week. What happened on Friday? Oh, Friday was a difficult trading day. We had two pairs with setups, the Kiwi Swissy and the Euro Yen. And before I show you the new setups for the fresh week, we just check what happened on Friday with our setups. We had a sell setup here on the Kiwi Swissy. You can see here, this was our ID for a sell entry. And we check now, like we do it all the days before, if there was price action on our entry or above. Like I told you, if this is the setup I give you, we of course look here for price action. But if the price action then happens on the next line or order block, then it's also good. But let's see what happened. The entry, the yellow line, was, or better to say, the order block was here. This was the region, the blue line, where we had our entry and where this order block, the two order blocks were, and where we had this supply. So on the white rectangle from the Hypnotic software. And you can see here price came to our line. We had here a reaction, but it's no price action we look for. We want to see a double top, as you know, if we look for price action, or a head and shoulders pattern. These are the two best price action patterns we want to see. You can see I had here an entry, and I tell you why. You can see we have here we had more double tops indeed. Then the first double top we had was here. You can see this was the first bounce area here. The price bounced, and then a price came again back to this area here. You can see these are the close of the green candle, and then again price came here and came not over this close of this green candle. So we have here a double top, and then I make the chart bigger that you can see it better. Let's scroll to this. So you can see the double top here. It's the right top of our double top. And then we get here this pin bar. This is a really nice sell pin bar after this, or on the right side of this double top. So I entered here for a sell trade because our price action was then confirmed. And of course the question is then, as you know, where is our next logical target? And we have to see on the left side where are bounce areas. So I have to make the chart a little bit smaller again. And if we look here, the next logical targets are always spikes, more or less. We look for spikes on the left side where price is likely to bounce again. And you can see we have here spikes. This is our entry, and we have here the spikes. So this is our logical next target 1. This here would be the next logical target 2, and this here the logical target 3 if price comes that far. And of course we want to secure on target 1 a part of our trade. We take profit, we secure it with a stop loss, and then we go for target 2 and 3. And let's see, I mark this target here. So this is our target here, and as you can see here it missed 2 times our target, and here then it reached our target, and again clearly reached here our target. It was not that big, our target. If I again make the chart bigger, it's not that much pips. You see here was the entry and here's the target. So this is, let's see, 5 pips here, exactly 5 pips. If you have a target which is less than 7, 8, 9 pips, you also can decide to go not into this trade. If this is too not enough pips for you, then skip this trade completely. But this is the next logical target, and you saw it all day long, and or better to say, you saw it all the last week and the week before. I do always the same, and you see these are the regions we go for it. And you can see clearly here it bounced on our target, here it bounced on our target. These are clear warning signs that price most probably will not go lower. And it's time to go out, and maybe go out with 100% of your trade, especially because it was before the NFP and on Friday. So take the 5 pips and it's good. for this day. I told you it's only a matter of lot size. We will see many trades with 10, maybe if you like here 5 pips, but we will also see bigger trades. But we have to respect the market structure. We can't make up any random target. If you say, I want to go, for example, I use this target. Why? There is no logical reason for that. The logical reasons are always the bounce areas, and the bounce areas are these spikes on the left side on the history of the market structure. And you can see market respects these areas, and this is the reason why we use this for our targets. There was a second chance to go into a trade. I will show you this too. So let's delete this again. This was my trade, but a second chance was here. You can see that again price comes here up and creates again a double top, or if you want, it's a triple top if you use this with it. And you can see again here we get a big rejection of the price. Price came not higher and makes this really big sell pin bar. This is a really big sell pin bar. But the problem here is we enter, if you entered exactly after the close of this pin bar, you would go in here. If you wait that pin bar gets broken on the low of this pin bar, you would enter here. And if you enter here, still the next logical target is this bounce area here. And you have then only, let's see what it is, 3 pips. I would never go into this trade for 3 pips. You see, it reached then this target, and again it bounced and was going higher, and then you had your 3 pips, but still it's too less. If you entered after the close of this pin bar, it's then around here, then you are good for 6 pips in this case. It depends how you enter this. If you have such a bigger wick here below, you would maybe enter here. On this here, it's easy to go here after the low of this pin bar, because this is a normal pin bar with a little wick on the low here. This is a bigger wick below, so maybe you would here enter after the close of this pin bar, or here maybe after the low of this body of the candle. But still, in my opinion, this is not a good target and not a good trade for only 3 pips to risk maybe 10 or 20 pips here. So it was maybe a little bit difficult, but you see here clear price action. For the first moment it looked like it want to go deeper and deeper, but you can see it was then go higher, and now the opening of the market here on Sunday night, it was really going higher. And it's good that you not waited to go lower and you secured it. And we never hold trades over the weekend. We go out if the trading day ends like here. We had also a setup for buy entry on the Kiwi Swissy, but you see the price came not to our entry. We always try to come into a buy or a sell trade. And in this case, the sell trade triggered, not the buy trade. We also had a sell and a buy set up on the Euro Yen. This was our sell entry for the Euro Yen, as you can see here. And this one triggered very late my time. It was at, I guess, a half an hour after the New York Open, or 1 hour after New York Open, around this, and very close to the Frankfurt close. So a late entry. You can see here it triggered my sell trade. It was opened by Metagrid in this case. The entry line was here around, and then Metagrid opened the sell trade here where you see the red arrow. I make the chart bigger that you can see it clearly. Here it is. You can see here Metagrid brought me in. Here was the original entry line. And the next logical target in this case was here. As you can see, this is the next wick we get. This is a bouncing area. Now we have 2 blue lines. That I don't confuse you. This blue line here was a resistance line we draw on our chart. And this is a support line. And here's the entry, and here's the next logical target, the first one, because we have here this wick. So what happened, it entered here, the trade, and then you can see it was really nice going down here, and then begin to up and down, and then here we were around 1 hour before the market close. the weekend close came, and then I was going out of this trade because I don't hold the trades over the weekend, and so it was more or less a 0 pip trade here. If I had waited over the weekend, you can see a price dropped over the weekend and had reached here indeed the target. After it was opened some minutes ago, price was around here, and then very quickly it was going up where it is now. So basically over the weekend and with the opening of the new trading week, it had reached the target. It was even deeper as our target, but it's better not to hold it over the weekend. But you can see basically we could reach this target, but for me it was a 0 trade because I closed it here at this candle here before the candle closed. So, and you can see this is almost 1 or 2 pips, and with spread it's a 0 trade here, and it ended late, but again it gave a good reaction here. Maybe you entered it too, but price action is not here. You can see if you waited here for price action, we are on the H1 time frame. We don't see here on the H1 no price action. We have to see on the M15 time frame if we see here a better price action. So that's it. This is the M15 time frame. You can see here was my entry, here was our entry line, and we have here no price action. There is no clear double top. There is nothing special. You had seen a double top maybe at the end of the trading day with the top here and the top here, but it's of course too late then to enter this trade 1 hour before the market close comes. It makes no sense before weekend to go in such a trade here. Even we had here luck if we had did it, because this trap came, but still my advice is normally not to go and hold over the weekend, especially not at the moment where we have all this COVID-19 news. You don't know what happens over weekend, and it's possible that you get a big market movement, and then you would lose a lot of money if it goes against you. So better close it before the weekend is my advice here. And the buy entry was here. Please note these are of course already the fresh order blocks for the new week, but you can see the buy entry was here not touched in this case. So we go with new setups into this new week, and I have the pound CAD here open on my chart. It's the M15 time frame, and I would go for a sell trade here in this area. We have here 2 sell order blocks close together. We have here the blue box in it, which is a sign that we have here a stronger resistance area, and we are above the bank sell level. So we are above a region where normally the buyers begin to take profit at this area here. They begin to take their profit, and then it's more likely that we get here a reversal on the chart. And moreover, we here over this market structure, you can see it's an interesting market structure. If price comes here over, maybe again there is still a down reaction. You can see this as resistance here too, and so I think this is a good sell area we can work with. And so I place here a limit sell here a little bit deeper as the first red line because of the active entry from Metagrid. If you don't use it and you want to confirm it by yourself, which is fine, then we wait here for price action, a double top or a head and shoulders pattern here in this area. The stop loss in this case, I would go with this highs here. If you use this high, it's a very high stop loss, so I would go with this, and that we have a little bit smaller stop loss here. The entry is here, this value, if you want it to paint on your chart, and then you check for price action, and this is the stop loss I use here. And of course then if you have an entry, you have to check where is the next logical target after it entered the trade, because then we know what the market structure looks like if we get here the entry on this trade. Can we find on the pound CAD a buy area 2? It looks not that nice here. I don't like here this demand zone for the moment. Already we had here a reaction on the demand zone. You can see it bounced here. It came not totally into this demand zone. Maybe again it will give a reaction because here is the banks by level 2. But I want to go with a deeper entry. Maybe we see this during the week. It's not necessarily an entry for tomorrow or for Monday, but maybe during the week in case that price wants to go lower. Then I want to go with this buy entry because it is here on this region where you have a lot of reactions. You can see it bounced and bounced and bounced. And I think it should give again a reaction if it comes to this very important area for the market. And we have here a big buy order block. Even it's a single one, it's not that nice. I would love it more if we had here two lines close together. But I like here this area, and maybe during the week we see here different order blocks. You know, every 24 hours we get the fresh ones, and we have to check the next days if this order block stays here or if it moves, and then we have to adjust our entry too. But we go with a buy entry, and I have to change the magic number on Metagrid because we use this pair a second time, that we have a different magic number if we use it on two different charts. And now we can here plan the buy entry. I have to display the order blocks again. So this here is the buy entry. I go a little bit higher as the green line, and I can delete here the blue one, that we not get confused here. And the stop loss is on the market structure low here. I think it's very logic to place it here. And this is the value for the entry. We wait here for price action, a double bottom, or if you see, a clear market sign that it wants to go higher here. But normally we wait here for a double bottom or inverted head and shoulders pattern, of course. It's also possible. The stop loss is this here. And as I told you, I think this could be an entry if this pair wants to go lower during the week. I don't think we get it tomorrow or today, but we will see. You never know what market has in mind. And here's a second pair with setups. It's the EURAUD. We are on the H1 time frame. And this could also be a target during the week if price goes higher again. Then I like here for the moment this area for a potential sell trade. We then come above this market structure here. And I think this could give a reaction if you see this as a resistance area. Oops, this was the wrong line. Sorry. If you see here this as a resistance area here, you can see we had here price got it here problems here, and then it bounced here, and again here it came below, retested it, and from this moment on it was going deeper. It retested it, was going deeper. I think this area could be interesting, and that we have here a strong sell order block above this market structure. I like it, and so this is a sell area I want to use for this week, and we place here our entry, and I place the entry a little bit higher than this already tested supply zone. You can see how nice again the Hypnotic software found an entry place. This supply zone was painted in the chart when price was around here. Then the Hypnotic software recognized this is a supply area. Then you had all the time to wait that price comes again into this supply area, and it perfectly reacted here and gave this big sell-off here. And here's the next supply zone. Of course, you can here watch for price action too. If price comes here during the Monday, it's possible. I don't want to use it at the moment because it was so strong sell-off here. Don't know what happens on Monday after NFP on Friday, what the traders have in mind. So I want to go for a higher target for the sell entry, and for this I use here at the moment, as I showed you this. And the stop loss I place here above the next sell order level. The entry is this value, and our stop loss has this value. And let's check for a buy possibility on the EURAUD. We have here a demand zone painted from the Hypnotic software. In this demand zone we have two green buy order blocks. We have the bank's buy level here, which will move a little bit higher during the day. And we have in front of this demand zone, this green line. So I want to go here with this green line in front of this demand zone. Often we see the first reactions a little bit higher than the demand zone. And as you know, if I use Metagrid with the active entry, it needs a little bit space to begin to calculate where is the real entry. If you want to trade it, you should here in this complete area from here to here look for price action. If you see here a double bottom or inverted head and shoulders pattern, then we are good to go here for an entry. For Metagrid with active entry, I go here with this green order block and I place here the stop loss. Let's see, below a little bit deeper than this demand area. Sometimes it needs a little bit space. That price has enough room. And we have here this entry, value, here it is. And for the stop loss, you can see the value here. And that's it for today with the entries and the setups. And as always, I will explain you what happened in the next video. See you.